I'm with the Renewable Wisdom Trails Library in Cosmology, and today I've been proposed several big topics. The thing everybody's got to remember is our library is made up of many, many theories and constructs that we've taken time to go prove out to ourselves. And even though I'm going to tell you about it, I'm still going to ask you to go prove it to yourself. Because if you don't, you're just giving lip service and you're not going to find yourself through somebody else's experiences. That just won't work. So two really big teachings. One's called twinning. And you really have to understand that we're talking about duality in the world of creator, creation. Two. Creator, creation. Creation has a creator. It's not a hierarchy. Most people interpret that as male and female, but it doesn't have to be. It can be active and receptive. You can understand it as male and female, but if you're going to try and make one more important, then don't go there, because you're just going down a rabbit hole. Very hard to get back. Here we go. Twinning. If you take duality, that means there's always opposites. Always. We call them twins. And you replicate that down into your current situation. How it's taught to me is summer is a twin to winter. Spring is a twin to fall. On one side of the earth, you have summer going on. On the other side, you have winter. They're twins. They're working together. Spring and summer, same way, on different sides of the earth. They're always going together. Hot and cold. You always have hot and cold. You have night and day. You always have twins to it. It's never singular. In the shamanic healing craft, if you want to call it that, or the natural healing craft, you got to keep a mindset of the two. And oftentimes your patient will try to seduce you into talking about one thing being the problem. It's never, because there's always going to be two that are creating the opposing forces in any location in the body. So you may have the natural healing and you may have the artificial. That can be a twin. They're opposing. Sometimes they can coexist, sometimes they get a confliction of paradigms, as we often call it. Twinning is a huge concept that goes from creator to creation all the way down to our individual opposites in our body. That's the super high road of twinning. It's not. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not soulmates. It's not all that stuff that people are talking about, twin flames, and a lot of material that it's out there that people are commercializing some of the original wisdom. It's not that.
Okay.
The twinning goes back, and it has been published in various forms in Indigenous circles, but often misunderstood. In other words, in astrology, Gemini represents the twins. In the Mayan system, you had the twins. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't pull it right now. But there's the creation twins. It is dotted in history in some publishings. In some of the teachings of the grandfather, he talked about Nanabush being Jesus, is how he talked about it. And he'd say to me, he said, "Did you know that Jesus was a trickster?" He said, "Yeah, he would be Nanabush in our tradition." Nanabush was known as the trickster. The opposite was a Windigo. A Windigo was considered something vampirish, something parasitical, something that you had to feed from time to time so they had something to eat. And as long as they had something to eat, they weren't a problem. Like parasites. Always the opposite. So there never was just one. It was always opposite. So even in the legends of the spirit world, you always had Gasijikwai was considered Sky Woman, and you had Earth Mother or Grandmother. Opposites. Heaven, Earth. Twins. So when you start unraveling the history and looking for what the renewable wisdom is in the twins, where we are so far in what we think is renewable is it's always two. It's never just one, always two, which is duality itself. So the other parts of the twinning, I don't know that I can go on record and say I can stand behind it or defend it. It's a continuous work in progress there. So anyway, might be something to it. I hope.